Hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Warships Blitz with Terry. The ranked season was up after what I feel like ages, or maybe I just missed them. But the window was actually quite long, and I was able to play a little bit of ranked for a change, which I haven't done in a very long time. So tier 8 this round, and I've got 3 games for you, just, you know, from me just casually playing ranked. In the first game, we are up in a domination battle, and I'm out in the Bayard, the tier 8 French premium light cruiser, which is a reasonably good HE spammer. Let's do this. I have noticed that a lot of times ranked seems to be extremely battleship heavy. So oftentimes I got into games where there were no cruisers whatsoever, but this is a very balanced. We've got 3 battleships, 2 cruisers, and 2 destroyers on each side. So it's nice. I'm enjoying ranked because, well, everyone's on the same tier, and I generally find that the teams tended to be doing less silly things in ranked. I'm not sure why, but I found that I enjoyed rank quite a bit. All right, so we are spawning over at A Cup, and I'm going to help that Tashkent out here. And we're going to rush towards A, because there might be destroyers, in which case I can help. There might be cruisers or battleships, in which case I will have to probably vacate A pretty quickly. Because one thing that the Bayard doesn't like is getting shot at. But if you can stay far away enough at the edge of your firing range and just set fires everywhere, she can do a very, very respectable amount of damage. So Tashkent heading over in towards A, and there comes the Admiral Hipper. Now let's scare the Hipper off. Unfortunately, that means I'm going to be giving broadside, but the Tashkent opens up as well, so the Hipper might be shooting at that thing. And we'll just try to set a fire. I'm getting ready to kite away. That's 1 fire. Drop the torpedoes. Hipper, control damage single fire. Yeah, thank you. Okay, damage control single fire. Sorry, Tashkent, for getting in your way right there. Didn't know you were actually running from the Hipper. Okay, Hipper shoots at me, but has difficulties with aiming. These torpedoes are going to be a little bit short. Because the island's in the way, but let's see if I can get another fire out. That's 1 fire, and that's 3 fires. So 3 perma-fires on the Hipper, and 1 torpedo that blew his rudder off. I'm sorry. Since he used the damage control on the single fire, he's now rudderless. Which means he's running straight into that Z without being able to steer the ship, which is not the best thing to happen, really. That means we've got A Cup cleared up. And we are about to lose B, but yeah, that Hipper is dead. Okay, Hipper dead as he takes him out. Well, that's 1 down, but you know, I may be needed over there on the other side. So the 2 destroyers have taken some damage, and there's another cruiser over there. So, but cruisers are not my problem. Destroyers, if I can get close enough. Otherwise, battleships, really. And by the looks of it, we are milling about a little bit around B Cup. We are holding 2 cups. We're 1 ship ahead, so we're doing pretty well right now. And but there's a congregation of enemy battleships over there, so that's where I'm trying to get to. And our Z is getting relatively low on health, but we've managed to kill the Benson, which is good news. Which means there are 1 destroyer down and 1 cruiser. And I'm just trying to get in range of these battleships over there. Because, well, we have lost 1 of our battleships, and that's a Bismarck. Let's see if I can set some fires, shall we? The Bayard has a rapid reload, if you're not familiar with the ship, which on these 150s is absolutely terrifying. Okay, damage controls a single fire. I know I said the teams aren't doing stupid things, but as long as the enemy team's doing stupid things, I'm all good for it. And this is round about as close as I want to get. Give the enemy someone else to shoot at, and just stay behind the other ships, preferably battleships, and make sure that you know that you set stuff on fire. So that Bismarck's going to run into some torpedoes from the Italian cruiser, and yeah, it's the Amalfi, and we're kiting away because the Bismarck is not alone. He's being followed by, I think, in Alabama, yeah, and in North Carolina. So that Black NC is probably going to be in trouble. Okay, we've got the Bismarck killed. Let's try to set some fires on the Americans. And I know they have a better fire resistance, but with the Bayard this doesn't matter. Single fire, please damage control that single fire. Would you be so kind? Thank you. Now we just gotta wait 10 seconds for the damage con to get into cooldown, and then we'll set another fire. So probably the next salvo after this one should be capable of starting to set fire again. And it's always good to focus your fire. The Amalfi is getting much closer. Well, I wouldn't want to be close, but I'm going to drop some torpedoes in his general direction. That's 2 perma-fires, thank you very much. See if we can get a third one. There's more torpedoes coming in. Yep, there's a third perma-fire. So okay, so the Alabama is burning merrily, which means we can now start trying to set the North Carolina on fire. And they are still trying to kill the Amalfi, which suits me very well. Because that means I can just rack up the damage. And while we are, well, we're 2 cups ahead, and up, and that's a torpedo hit, and we are 1 ship ahead, and I think that Alabama is just run out of fires. So okay, sorry, I didn't see that he was flooding there on torps. Okay, he's dead. He's dead, which is the right thing. But the North Carolina is firing at the Amalfi, and this Amalfi is taking all the, yep, and he's dead. He's taking all the fire here, really. That's 1 fire in the North Cal. Please damage con that. Or maybe not. Maybe we've got someone who doesn't damage con single fires. Okay, there's 2 of them. Damage con that, please. Enemy Amalfi. Maybe his damage con's on cooldown. I don't know. Or he just doesn't want to damage con double fire. Enemy Amalfi I don't have time to play with, because the North Carolina, now he damage con, is actually shooting at me. So now we're playing the kiting game. And the Bayard is an extremely quick ship. Now we are ahead on points and we're holding all 3 cups. But obviously the Amalfi goes for the destroyers, which is probably the right thing to do. And the North Carolina gets a couple hits in on me, but yeah, the Z takes out the Amalfi, must have torped him. Which leaves me and 1 destroyer. So now it's just a matter of distracting the North Carolina and either burning him down, but we are so far ahead on points, we're holding all 3 cups, the enemy team has no more chance to get anywhere. So I'm just casually, you know, trying to dodge shots here as much as possible. Very precise shots here for North Carolina. I'm not used to that. But yeah, it's I mean, this thing has a long range. And I'm just trying to keep his attention so that he's not noticing the destroyer that is rushing him straight up. Which means he's either going to be on fire eventually, if I'm getting lucky again and get another hit in. Ow, that hurt. I was a second too late returning here. Or yeah, well, the destroyer is going to get him. So, yeah, well, looks like he's running right into these Tashkent torps. And the Tashkent sets him on fire. And these torps are going to kill him, and there he goes. Well done. So, we have, well, racked up a respectable amount of damage, but well done to the Tashkent. That was nicely played. And because we were able to kill the Hipper early on, and because I did support the Tashkent, he was able to, you know, do great things. Because one thing that the Bayard can't do is cap, so keep your destroyers alive. 96,000 damage, not bad, but the Tashkent still comes in first place because 3 kills and 2 caps, and well deserved. And well played to the Z as well. And the Amalfi for taking all that damage. Alright then. After this, let's switch over to Destroyer. Now I'm out in the Hsienyang, the Tier 8 Pan-Asian destroyer, and you might be questioning that choice a little bit because the Hsienyang has deep water torpedoes, which means that, well, she's not quite capable of hitting enemy destroyers with torpedoes. But that said, we do have a Cleveland on our side, and we've got 3 destroyers on the enemy team. I was banking on having a lot more battleships around, but still this is doable. So I am spawning with the Cleveland here around A cup. So I'm going to rush A, switch over to the armor piercing, obviously, because, well, if I encounter enemy destroyers, then I will have to use my guns because my torpedoes won't do anything against them. But the Hsienyang also has smokes and a radar, which means if I'm pairing up with the Cleveland, we can perma-spot anything destroyery that should come around here. Yep, I'll head over to B cup, don't worry. I'm gonna just go into A and then loop around. We'll see where the enemy destroyers are showing up. I should be able to outspot or at least equal spot everything that I can get because this is a stealth build Hsienyang, so should be capable of seeing anything coming. Okay, no destroyer in A, enemy destroyer in A. Where are you? You should be coming around there-ish, probably. Yep, there she is. There's the Benson. Outspotted the Benson. Okay, fire up. And the Cleveland can do the rest. Okay, there comes some torpedoes. That's one spread from the Benson. That's not all the torpedoes he has. Oh, Black Shapayev. Alright, I don't want to go in B. There's a Chappie in there. Oh, and 2 destroyers. Okay, I'm going to help the Cleveland deal with these 2 guys. And I'm going to do that by just keeping the Benson busy. Getting a couple shots out. Okay, Cleveland radars. So Cleveland's radar is on cooldown now. But I'm just going to keep the Benson at bay. And he doesn't seem to be wanting to play. And the Aka sits within the smoke while the broadside onto a Cleveland, which is extremely unhealthy, as he's just found. Sorry, it's an Akizuki, what he's just found out, because it's tier 8. And the Benson is still there. Hello, Benson. Are you trying to torpedo me? Good luck with that. Now that that's dead, we can start shooting at the Benson. And again, just casually, yeah, he's trying to torpedo me probably. Casually dodging torpedoes, keeping the Benson spotted, and relying on the Cleveland to do the heavy lifting here. But we've cleared out 1 destroyer. Well, the Cleveland has done most of the work. The Black Shapayev seems to be dead, which means I can now head over into B cap. So engine boost up, just in case the Benson has torpedoes away, because then I'm just gonna outrun them. And there they are, as expected. Yep, there comes the torpedo spread. Yeah, never gonna hit me. Unless he was aiming at the Cleveland, that's entirely possible. But now I can get B cap, and I'm just, Benson insists on shooting at me and keeping himself spotted. Then I'm fine with that. Cleveland can keep shooting at him. But he's firmly Cleveland's problem. I'll be heading over there and see if I can help out with the battleships. But the enemy team is now 2 ships down, because the Shapayev has committed suicide by battleship. And the Benson is still trying to shoot me, well, while being under fire from a Cleveland and pretty much everybody else. So I mean, I can accommodate him with that. I don't really mind. While I'm making my way over to all these battleships that are clustered around C Cup, and not being super useful to their team really. Although there is an enemy destroyer which is kind of bullying our battleships, and that Gascogne looks like, yeah, he's dead. Okay. So Key has killed the Gascogne. There are a couple of deep water torps. I don't have to worry about these. That's the enemy Hsienyang over there. Now I'm going to stop firing, and I really would wanted to have my detection go down. But anyway, the Key is on low health, so now they know that I'm coming, but they can't see me anymore. Which means the Roma over there is reversing. Yes, he's reversing. So I'm just going to do that. And then put her in reverse, smoke up, and start opening up with a high explosive at the Key, who is on low health. All the while keeping an eye out for the Benson, who's still sailing around outside the capture circles, doing I don't know what. But okay, the Key is dead. Now please, Key, sink quickly enough that my deep water torps aren't going to hit you. But no, it looks like they managed to just get, I don't know, underneath. Can I get a permafire on the Roma? Nah, that'd be too much to ask for. But okay, now my torpedoes are on reload. And Cleveland is back here. So, and the Benson's still around. Oh, there's the enemy Hsienyang. I know that the Cleveland just radared, because I've seen him pop the radar for the Benson, so back to the armor piercing. I don't have to be afraid of the Hsienyang, because the Hsienyang is a Pan-Asian destroyer. He smokes up. I've got the radar ready. So now he sits right in front of a Cleveland in a smoke that doesn't work because I have him radared. So yeah, we're just shooting at him, and I don't have to be afraid of his torps because they're deep water torps, and he's very dead now. So yeah, Hsienyangs have radar. They are very useful in that way. So I haven't done a huge amount of damage. I've just more or less been kind of helping out the Cleveland. The Cleveland takes out the Benson as well. Perfect game from the Cleveland. Killed 3 destroyers. Well done. Ah, no, that was the Bismarck on the other one, I think. But almost killed 3 destroyers. Okay, that Gascogne is going to be dead before my torpedoes get there. So I'm just going to grab... yeah, Gascogne is dead. Okay, waste of torps. There's nothing left for me to shoot at. Anyway, while we're chasing whatever that is, probably the Roma? Was that the Roma that was left here? Anyway, while we're doing that, why do I think the Hsienyang is a good choice? Because first of all, the ranked seems to be extremely battleship heavy, And the Hsienyang has very, very good torpedoes and is excellent at stealth torping battleships. And while she is not able to torpedo enemy destroyers, to be honest, you probably won't land many torpedoes on tier 8 and enemy destroyers in ranked anyway. You might as well use the guns and just use your teammates to keep enemy destroyers spotted. And that's something the Hsienyang is very good at, because she is maneuverable, she is stealthy, and she has a radar, and she has a smoke screen. So you have a fair amount of utility in this thing. It does get a little nasty when there are carriers on the enemy team, but still you can, for example, do things like smoke up your own team and stuff like that. So right next to me there's a Richelieu, and the Richelieu is also a very, very popular choice in tier 8 ranked, obviously, because the Richelieu is perfect for this kind of scenario where you have expecting to have a somewhat qualified team to play with, especially in the higher ranks. The Richelieu is perfect. Okay, so what are we going to play next? Well, talking about Richelieus, let's do that one, shall we? So why is the Richelieu such a powerful ship in ranked? Well, I mean, the Richelieu is a powerful ship in general, but if you're teamed up with a bunch of people who make very questionable decisions, even in a Richelieu, you're going to be struggling. Now, the Richelieu has a couple of things that make her extremely powerful. And before we start, let me just sum that up. What the Richelieu is very good at is tanking. And I'm not talking about the armor. The Richelieu can do something that in a tank, you would say, get into a hull down position. So you can often find small ledges. And because the Richelieu has all her guns pointing forward, you can go bow in behind small ledges and have a fair amount of defense from enemy fire through islands. You can skirt islands, and you can shoot down planes. She's extremely versatile. You can do AA defense duty. She is very fast, so you can move into position. You have to compensate for the relatively low health and lack of armor, and that you do that by entrenching her. You park her in a strong position, and then you just get yourself into a good spot. So we're in a carrier battle. I'm not afraid of the Shokaku. We've got against Roma, Double, North Carolina, Monarch, Key, and Hsienyang. That's what I was talking about with the extremely battleship heavy thing. We do have 2 destroyers on our side, and keep an eye on our Shokaku, because she does an extremely good job of directing the battle and calling targets. So, Southern Archipelago, center spawn. My very first stop is going to be that island right in front of me, because I don't know where the enemy team goes, and while the Shokaku goes spotting, it's possible that the enemy carrier goes for a carrier snipe. So I want to be right in the middle there, right in front of that Shokaku, in case the enemy carrier decides to come for a strike down here. It's unlikely in tier 8 and in higher tier rank, but did I get just pushed by airplanes in higher rank battles? But it's entirely possible. It looks like the enemy carrier does a scattered scout, which makes sense because there are 2 destroyers on the enemy on our team, which means so far I haven't seen anything coming around right down the middle, so I can go to a forward position. And that island right in front of me is where I want to be, because I can use that island depending on where the enemy team goes. And the enemy destroyer is in C cup, so there are definitely battleships over in A cup. So I'm going to put that island between myself and the right flank, and I'm going to park myself here because I'm in an extremely strong position. My guns are reaching all the way across up to the range of A cup. I can park myself and entrench myself on this island here, and I've got flanking shots on a broadsiding Roma. Now Roma has to do with our team in B cup, so this is a perfect situation for getting broadside flanking shots on all the enemy battleships. Look at these, because they are naturally focusing on B cup. There's another Richelieu parked there. Now there's a Monarch, and Monarch can set a lot of fire, so I'm a little careful. Oh, they're all over there. Okay, the whole enemy team is over there, so they are pushing extremely hard on A cup. And now look at the carrier calls out capture C, because she sees that they are rushing A, and she calls out the Monarch. I agree, a primary target. I don't want to be burned down by the Monarch. I can tank armor piercing a lot better than then lots of HE spam, especially if I happen to come under air attack as well. So I'm backing up a little bit, just to get to get out of line of fire, and I'm going forward again and keeping shots out at the Monarch. Don't want to have direct line of fire from all the enemy team. So I mean, I'm still detected, but again, I do take some fire in, and yes, I know we're going to kill the Monarch, because that's the target call from the carrier. And the carrier has great overview. She sees everything that's going on in the battle from the top-down view. There's the other Richelieu doing the same thing that I'm doing, but on the other flank. So wherever these guys are turning, they're going to give broadside to a Richelieu. So let's kill the Monarch. And I think the Monarch's dead. All right, who's next? I have shots out and at North Carolina, so he's going to be the next target, unless the carrier calls somebody else. Yeah, agreed. Carrier calls out North Car. Carrier drops NC, and I'm just going to keep the fire up. And again, I'm kind of parked here such that there's a little ledge beside me, so a lot of fire might go into the island. Okay, oh, sorry, it's a Roma. It's not a North Carolina. Yes. So we're killing the Roma, and that's a couple more hits on the Roma, and the carriers get. So our other Richelieu is running low on health, which means at this point we need to trade positions. So I'm going to go forward and see if I can entice a couple of people to start shooting at me, because they have now taken B Cup, and yep, that was a double citadel on the North Carolina. These things are very squishy little battle cruisers, aren't they? So I'm going forward now, and I'm going to try and draw some fire so the other Richelieu can take a break and can recover some health maybe. And again, I don't want to rush into the cup because there's still a bunch of battleships over there. But I can again use that little ledge there and get into a more tanking position. And I have only used one health kit so far, one repair kit. Okay, Roma is on low health, but I think he's dead. Yep, nicely done. So yes, agreed. Okay, carrier calls out North Carolina, so I'm gonna shoot at that thing, and at the same time give a little bit of air cover because the Shokaku has been looping around there. So let's kill the North Carolina, and I can be inching forward and take on the other things. Now we have lost our other Richelieu, but he's done a great job. So carrier, is that North Carolina dead? Yes, thank you. All right, next key. Japanese is an Amagi with torps, right? So I'm positioning myself here to give air defense if possible, and just shooting down some fighters because Richelieu has an excellent AA. And I'm just keeping my nose in. Now there's the Shokaku. Okay, big bitfrag target, very tempting, but yeah, she calls out key, so key it is. Let's kill key. Shots out, and it was a little bit low, and there are probably torpedoes in the water. And in this range, the key does hurt, and I'm also getting shot at by North Carolina over there, but that's alright. We're controlling all the other cups, and the rest of our team has finally made it to loop around. Okay, just a couple more shots at the key, and then that thing should be pretty dead. Okay, that key torps, I might be taking one, that is fine. I can sustain that amount of damage. There's still a North Carolina over there, and at this range even a North Carolina can't miss me. But I'm grabbing the cup, and I think point-wise our lead is such that we probably have won this. So a couple more shots out at the key. Yep, nice citadel on the key. And there's the Shokaku trying to get away. So I'm not going to be having any of this. Torpedo bombers. So I'm going to try and get as close as possible to the island. So the torp drops are hitting the island, but I think I'm a second too late. I haven't seen these in time. Yep, there are still 3 torpedoes hitting me, but that's okay. I can sustain that, but the other torps have hit the island. So now we've won the game. So at this point, I'm just having fun. Let's rush the NC and see if I can get a kill on the Shokaku, who's trying very hard to run away. And these shots are leaving him on almost no health, so I might have to go secondaries here. And probably I'm gonna die to the North Carolina, but that's okay. We've done our job here. Can we kill the Shokaku? Come on, one more shot. Okay, he's on fire, damage controls, he's on no health whatsoever. Secondaries reload first, secondaries out. Can I get the main guns pointed around? No, North Carolina takes me out. But that's okay. I always enjoy a little brawl at the end with the Richelieu. But this is the reason Richelieu is so powerful, and if you're playing with someone like that Shokaku player, excellent gameplay and excellent calling out priority targets that are coming under air attack. Very, very well played. And what we might have lost we actually lost a bunch of ships to relatively low damage that they caused, but we have, Shokaku and me have done quite a bit. And also the other Richelieu has done very well of doing the same thing that I was doing on the other side. It was an all-around excellent battle. So, ranked. I had fun. And I had fun in all things, obviously besides carriers, because I'm a terrible carrier player and I don't even have a tier 8 carrier, but yeah, it's been fun. Enjoyed it. So that's it for today. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.